Welcome to the deep dive. This is where we take sources you send us and really try to unpack what's going on.
And today we've got a really interesting one. It's a Reddit thread from the RFTM subreddit.
That's right. The post title was, I feel like I missed out on Boyhood. Came from user Prestigious Fox 7501.
And the discussion that followed was, well, incredibly rich. Lots of different perspectives.
Exactly. So our mission here, our goal for this deep dive, is to understand that initial feeling, that sense of missing out, and then explore all the different ways people responded.
Yeah, and we're doing this especially for you, the learner. Someone interested in getting, different viewpoints, gaining knowledge, but maybe without getting totally overwhelmed by it all.
So Prestigious Fox 751, they started by talking about missing stereotypical boyhood stuff.
Things like hunting, yeah.
Yeah,
And certain toys, maybe TV shows.
right. And not learning about tools or cars,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And how that made them feel like their masculinity was a bit empty.
Hmm. But they did add an edit, didn't they?
They did, yeah. Clarifying that these were, broad stereotypes they were using. It was more about a deeper feeling,
And they mentioned being raised by a single mom in the southern U.S.
which can come with its own strong ideas about what boys do. So the core feeling is this lack, this sense of missing experiences they saw their male peers having.
It wasn't just abstract acceptance they wanted.
No, it was a yearning for those specific moments, that knowledge, like something foundational was missing.
And, well, the responses came in pretty quickly, challenging that whole premise.
Oh, absolutely. People
Yeah.
jumped in saying, hang on, are those things really universal?
Elvira made a great point.
Yeah.
Showed that their cisgender dad wasn't into that stuff at all.
Right. And they learned about power tools in school, I think.
Yeah. So it immediately shows, yeah, plenty of cis guys don't have that stereotypical childhood either. They pick skills up later.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? Why those specific activities, hunting, cars, tools, why do they carry so much weight? Culturally, I mean.
That's a huge question. Maybe it's media portrayals.
Yeah.
Old narratives. Then you had others, like Jammy Jemmy and Snifflecrumb.
Oh, yeah, they were like, glad I didn't do that stuff, especially hunting.
But Prestigious Fox 751 responded to that too, saying, okay, maybe I wouldn't want to hunt now, but the childhood feeling of missing out, that's still there.
That really gets at something important, I think. The difference between a current desire and a past sense of lack. It's not about wanting the thing now. It's about feeling like you missed a connection, maybe.
Yeah, a shared cultural beat or
Yeah.
something. Snifflecrumb was quite empathetic, acknowledging that feeling, missing childhood bits can just be tough, full stop.
And then the conversation shifted a bit, didn't it?
It did. Faith Aphelios brought up the body aspect, missing out on having a boy's body during childhood.
And the social stuff that goes with it.
Right, like being shirtless without a second thought or being asked to help with physical chores from a young age.
It's interesting how the physical and the social get intertwined there. Missing the body and missing the way society might have treated that body.
Totally. And Acrobatic Hoon 6064 chimed in.
Yeah.
Relating to the shirtless thing, even from an AFAB perspective, remembering that pressure to wear a bra early on.
Shows how body norms affect everyone, just differently.
And Faith Aphelios added another layer, saying even when they were shirtless as a kid, it wasn't like seen as a boy thing. It was just kids being kids.
Ah, so their own experience wasn't validated or coded as masculine at the time. That feels significant.
Very. When do we start labeling experiences like that? Good question.
Yeah, and it highlights that gap between internal feeling and external perception, which leads nicely into wrong quote 11's comment.
The feeling of being off.
Yeah, in groups of cis men, feeling like you don't have those shared growing up stories, even if nobody knows you're trans.
It's not just skills then. It's like missing the cultural shorthand, the inside jokes you didn't live through.
Exactly, that unspoken language of shared experience.
But the good news is the conversation didn't just, stay stuck there. A really strong theme emerged about taking action. Now, as an adult.
Totally. Learning things, doing things. Sean Eyre had that story about their dad, right? Not being handy, but teaching himself later.
Yeah. And the advice was practical. Use YouTube, be safe, but learn. It really challenges the idea that you miss your window for learning certain things.
It's kind of amazing how resources like YouTube have changed things. You can learn almost anything whenever.
Democratization of knowledge right there.
Yeah.
And that message kept coming up. Just go do it. Your adult experiences, they're just as valid.
And figuring out what's actually important to you. That was Sean Eyre too, wasn't it? Saying
Yeah.
city guys might not hunt or fish anyway.
Exactly. It brings it back to personal relevance, not just ticking off stereotype boxes. Your journey, your interests. That's what
Yeah.
counts.
Someone even shared a funny story, Reddit's spam account.
Oh, yeah, the hunting trip that wasn't exactly idyllic.
Huh, yeah. A good reminder that the reality often doesn't match the imagined ideal, even for people who had those experiences.
And reinforces the idea.
Hmm.
It's never too late to try something yourself. Create your own version.
Which leads right into the proactive stuff people suggested, making your own boyhood now.
Super Amoeba 8182 was really direct about it. Buying toys they missed out on, learning car stuff, using power tools as a young adult.
Giving yourself those experiences,
Yeah.
actively.
It's like reclaiming something, isn't it? By engaging with it now.
And Bibi Bupado had that phrase, designing and shaping your own manhood.
Powerful. Pursue the experiences, adopt the traits you admire, find your gender joy fountain.
I like that. Gender joy fountain. It shifts from fixing a lack to, like, building happiness.
It's active, it's positive. Then Clucky Parasocialite offered a different approach, more introspective.
Creating.
Yeah, YA books with queer male leads, and asking cis guys about the books that shaped their childhoods, trying to understand through shared stories.
That's a neat way to build connection and empathy, seeking understanding through culture.
Then came a really crucial comment from DR34 and GL455.
A cisgender man, right, in his 40s.
Yeah. And he said, look, I missed out on a lot of that boy knowledge and rites of passage, too, because he didn't have a consistent father figure.
Wow. Okay, so that feeling, it's not exclusively a trans experience at all.
Not at all. And his message was really empowering. Become the boy and the dad. Teach yourself. Turn that lack into self-reliance.
That really broadens the whole thing, doesn't it? It shows a kind of universal aspect to feeling like you missed out on certain guidance or experiences.
Definitely. Wrong Confusion 774 echoed that sentiment, too. Don't dwell on the past. Focus on becoming the man you want to be now. Look forward.
Agency, that forward momentum.
Which is vital. But, Spirit No 626 brought up something else. That feeling that something is missing, but you can't quite name it.
Oh, that vague, nagging feeling. Yeah.
I think a lot of people can relate to that intangible sense of lack. Maybe it's not always a specific skill. Maybe it's more emotional, social connection.
Could be. And then on the other hand, you had New Factor 2568.
Who came in quite strong,
saying, hold on, these experiences hunting, tools, they are not integral to masculinity. Full stop. Many cis men don't have them and don't feel they missed out.
Really pushing back on the whole premise, challenging the definition itself.
Forces you to deconstruct those stereotypes for sure, and Dust Void's story supported that.
About their childhood being different from their brothers.
Exactly. Same family, but not the same typical boyhood, reinforcing that these aren't necessary rites of passage.
And then we circle back to practical solutions again. Lots of mentions of dad. How do I?
Yeah, that YouTube channel. It's amazing how that's become a resource, like finding a surrogate teacher online.
Ravon Gay mentioned it for beard trimming, I think.
Yeah.
And Comic Book Geek talked about the community around it, how the creator didn't have a dad growing up.
So people are creating the resources they needed themselves, building support. It's great.
And Lime Green Art had that wonderful kind of ironic example.
Learning about cars from trans women friends.
Yeah, while helping them with makeup. It just perfectly shows how these skills aren't inherently gendered. We learn from each other, often in surprising ways.
Love that. Oof, my Bowen shared a really detailed story, too. Raised by a single mom, focus on assertiveness, self-reliance.
Showing just how diverse boyhood or upbringing really can be, shaped by so many things. And their point was key. Pretty much everyone feels some gaps entering adulthood.
That really normalizes it, doesn't it? Takes the pressure off feeling uniquely unprepared.
Non-binary Prince offered a more poignant take, though, on the grief, maybe, of losing a potential father-son dynamic and that visceral feeling of missing specific things like being shirtless without thought.
It highlights the emotional depth these feelings can have, this sense of irreversible loss sometimes.
And Picture Without West shared about their dad having non-stereotypical interests, music, gardening.
Showing, again, huge variety even within cis experiences. Different upbringings lead to different skills, different interests, not one single path.
Possible Bumblebee 401 then connected it to the wider cultural conversation.
The crisis in masculinity.
Yeah, suggesting that maybe lots of men, cis and trans, feel like they're constantly striving for masculinity or feeling inadequate sometimes. It's a broader societal pressure.
Interesting point. Makes you think about expectations placed on men generally?
Burbonus Good came back with very practical stuff. Join local groups, car shows, woodworking clubs. Learn from older folks who often want to share knowledge.
Find mentors, basically, or just supportive friends who can teach you things.
Right. And Drana Blue made a really sharp point about idealizing a cartoon version of boyhood.
Yeah, that most people, including cis guys without dads or positive male role models, just don't experience that idealized version anyway.
Connects back to the idea that insecurity about manhood is actually pretty common.
And the advice that followed was quite direct. Stop overthinking, just try stuff, learn new skills, frame it as a masculine mindset, if
Yeah.
that helps the action-oriented part.
While Strung Yoker 3623 expressed the desire to just be seen as masculine without needing the stereotypical knowledge checklist, defining it more internally.
Both valid perspectives, really, and Bluebershy had that great line.
Best time to learn was yesterday. Second best time is today. Love that.
So encouraging. And the washing machine analogy, learning basic stuff later in life, totally normalizes catching up.
Special Mud 6084 found validation in vintage Boy Scout guides, interestingly. And again, YouTube.
Resources are everywhere. Krogan Poppy, another cis man, shared his experience with a neglectful father, reinforcing that missing positive male upbringing isn't just a trans thing.
And again, emphasizing finding mentors, chosen family, supportive communities,
Which brings us towards the end. Maximum Tank 354 had a really thoughtful reflection.
saying, okay, maybe you missed some childhood stuff, and that's real, but also appreciate the unique perspective you have as a trans man. Don't just focus on filling gaps.
And pointing out, again, how relatable those core insecurities can be to cis guys, too.
The Ferryman 910 kept it simple. Go seek out the experiences you feel you missed. It might be hard, but do it.
Shared their own story of learning about cars from friends.
And Rabbit Bisexual showed how you can find alternative ways to satisfy a desire, maybe not hunting, but watch, repair, scratch that mechanical itch.
Finding your own path. Okama 8280 reiterated, can't change the past. Focus on living the life you want now. Develop current interests.
And finally, Nohan Lilo's story about their grandfather teaching all the grandkids engineering skills, boys and girls.
Perfect example. These skills aren't gendered. Just take the initiative and learn.
So wrapping this deep dive up, what we've really seen is that this feeling, this sense of a missed boyhood, it's common. It hits hard for many trans men for sure, but lots of cis people feel it too for different reasons.
And those classic stereotypes, hunting, fishing, tools, they're really not universal. They don't define masculinity. Lots of ways to be a boy. Lots of ways to be a man.
Yeah, and the most, I guess, empowering thread running through it all was about taking action now, in the present.
Using resources, learning what you want to learn, finding your own validation, not in some old stereotype, but in your growth, your community.
So we really hope this exploration gave you, the learner, some things to think about. Maybe something resonated, maybe it sparked an idea for a step you could take.
And maybe here's a final thought to leave you with. We've seen just how diverse all these experiences are, right? So what does boyhood or manhood actually mean to you personally? And how can you actively shape that for yourself starting today, regardless of the past?
Thanks for diving deep into this with us today.